this? This is Smack Talk, Episode 2, with the Motley Experience. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So today is the 17th of October, 2011. Bountiful Glory was yesterday from TNA. Now, we did not watch...
Believe it or not, we're actually starting with TNA news. I know, it's shocker. Calm yourselves, please.
So apparently, Bountiful Glory was yesterday. I totally forgot. Yesterday, I actually came from Comic-Con, the New York Comic-Con. A lot of fun. I'll talk about that later.
I came from work.
But really, apparently the big news from Bountiful Glory was that Kurt Angle won against Bobby Roode despite being injured, despite Bobby Roode being hailed as like the next big thing in TNA, and Bobby Roode's dedicated. He's been around what 14 years ish.
I'm not exactly sure, but I know he's.
And here he is working his ass off. What was it? Beer Money was like one of the most over tag teams they've ever had ever.
Oh, yeah.
And here, like this could have been Bobby Roode's main event moment. Like it was the main event, and they just buried him again. And from what I read online on the dirt sheets, that they want to prep the title again for Jeff Hardy of all people. Again, I don't know what's going on. Other big news from TNA was that Lagana was hired onto the TNA staff, but he wasn't going to be working on Impact. I think that's true. I don't know. Either way, you might want to fact check that later because that's very useful. But either way, TNA is just in a rut right now, as if you didn't know. Hulk Hogan recently went to Twitter and buried Robert Roode and buried AJ Styles too.
I'm not sure
I
about
know AJ Styles got in the fight too.
Probably.
I mean, like these are grown men, and here they are having bitch fights on Twitter, just like a bunch of high school girls. It's pathetic, really. And I got better things to do than to follow what these masculine cat fights are all about, and I think it's pathetic and completely unprofessional. But that's just my opinion. The fact is, Hulk Hogan did not promote the pay-per-view as well as he should have. Oh, he was in character, so of course he'll bury Bobby Roode. Sure, he can be in character, but you still have to promote the pay-per-view somehow. What he could have said was, "Oh, I believe Bobby Roode isn't ready, brother, but buy the pay-per-view this Sunday and see if I'm proven wrong."
Something like that. Yeah.
Something to really show that hey, this guy is a worthy contender. The way Hulk Hogan said it was that Bobby Roode is not ready for the spotlight. He's not ready to be a contender. So why should you even bother paying $40, $50? I don't even know how much a TNA pay-per-view is, just to see this guy who's probably not ready lose against Kurt Angle, which happened anyway. And I think that's stupid. I think that's idiotic, and it just proves that how far behind Hulk Hogan is with the times and how out of touch he is with the professional wrestling industry today. That's my rant on TNA. I am close to being very done with TNA. I cannot stand what they are doing. I mean, they're just not putting on a decent product. I mean, at least WWE, even if they're bad, at least they're consistent and they'll try to end it in some way. I mean, like if they just bury it, then they just throw it under the rug. But other than that, at least they put an end to just some of their stupid storylines, like the whole Nash texting Nash thing. That doesn't make any sense. But at least they said, all right, that's done. TNA is just, I can't even follow it because I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you though. I mean,
how long was that rant?
that was like a good almost 3.5 minutes. But I agree with you on the whole Hogan thing. I mean, if he were to say that on TV, that's the only way he could get away with it on his own program, because obviously then he's like, okay, Bobby Roode has no chance. But this was like, I think it was either over Twitter or it was an actual like interview where he was discussing pay-per-view, and he actually said Bobby Roode isn't ready for this. I'm like, why would you seriously come out and say that? Even if you're in character, like you were saying, there's a better way that you could go about it. He didn't go about it at all.
I agree. Maybe kayfabe should still have a place in 2011, but a part of me also.
But you have to be careful with how you do it.
Exactly. I mean, CM Punk was brilliant with his June promo. He still advertised the pay-per-view.
Yeah. While
still saying Vince McMahon should die.
Exactly,
that's brilliant advertising. Here, Hulk Hogan was just like, oh, I don't think Bobby Roode's ready. Blah. That was basically Hulk Hogan. It's stupid, and TNA just angers me. They just really do.
It upsets me. It gets my blood pressure going.
When is Samoa Joe's contract over? He needs to go to the WWE.
I guess. I mean,
when is it over?
He's talented, but it's one of those things that I don't like.
He might have glass ceiling. He's not.
Yeah,
he doesn't look like
because of the look. He doesn't have the look. I mean, if
he
could build him as a Taz kind of competitor, because when Taz came, like he beat Kurt Angle, he did all this stuff.
Taz was small, but he was still pretty jacked. Samoa Joe, he's got endurance. He's got obviously the talent. but he doesn't have the look.
Yeah, but
anyway.
Yeah, so it seems as though because of our low budgets, we cannot find. Good luck. Because of our low budgets, we cannot find a more private studio.
Trust us, if we could have a private studio, we'd have this lineup with posters and everything just to fit in.
We'd have cool technology
stuff. But here we are in the middle of the Motley Student Center.
Yeah. So, I mean,
anyway,
we tried, but it makes it feel more genuine and real.
Back to the topic on hand. Okay, so TNA isn't doing that well, but Raw, as bad as they are, they're at least consistent-ish. And I want to use that as a segue to vent my frustrations on Raw as well. I'm not.
Here we go. He's getting closer and everything. Here we go.
I mean, does anyone know what's also going on with Raw as well? Why was Vince McMahon able to fire Triple H if even he was fired? Why was...
Yeah, how did
Nash text Nash? What is the whole point of walking out in an unsafe work environment, which CM Punk basically said, you're a bunch of wrestlers and you put yourselves through tables, ladders, and chairs, and here you are complaining about an unsafe work environment. And why didn't anyone point to Mark Henry? Well, I mean, if
that bothered me so much. Yeah, when they came out and they surrounded the ring, and then Mark Henry was doing most of the stuff, and he was just sitting there.
Mark Henry was the one doing all this stuff, and here he is with the belt, just standing there as if he's scared of his own safety. What?
Yeah, like he was like agreeing, like, yeah, this is unsafe.
It's like, yeah, this is unsafe. Look what I did to Jerry Lawler. You should be punished.
Anal bleeding.
The fuck? Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what they're doing. Apparently, Vince McMahon is also going crazy, which has been pretty obvious for a while now. I think we can all agree.
He's getting old. He's getting senile.
He's gotten much older. I mean, this is what the dirt sheets are saying, and maybe you shouldn't trust the dirt sheets because they're the internet.
But you can trust us.
They are. Yeah, exactly. But who's to say what's right, what's wrong, what is really happening behind the scenes? I would love to be a fly in the wall one day. If I had one wish, no, actually, screw that. 3 wishes, and I could use one wish. I would use that one wish to either have immunity and go backstage, or be invisible and go backstage, or be a fly in the wall and go back. Whatever, just get me backstage and just listen in on what Vince McMahon says to his talent and the writers, because I would love to really see what they really think and what they're really doing backstage. And I like to know just how many rewrites and drafts
you went through like 8
before. Exactly. So I want to know, like, what did they reject that they ended up with this? And apparently horrible. Tonight Raw's broadcast is pre-taped, so there are spoilers online, but like a good viewer, I avoided those spoilers, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe this is going to be like the best Raw ever, and they're going to answer.
Let's place a bet. Let's place a bet over who will win what match.
No, I don't want to do that. I mean, maybe they're going to answer all the questions tonight. I don't know yet. I haven't seen the Raw yet because it's not airing yet. It's only 6.
And it's from Mexico.
It's on 6:30. Yeah.
I read the spoilers, and I don't want to give anything away, but it doesn't sound like an incredible show. But I'm going to watch it anyways, even though I know what's going to happen because it's from Mexico, and I want to know, like, because the audience there is like really rowdy apparently.
They are.
Yeah. Because I think it would be interesting because I've never seen a taping.
I'm adjusting something in my shoe. That's why I'm going off the screen. But I guess.
But I don't want to give anything away. At least not in this part.
Okay.
Maybe in the second part you can like leave the
room.
But
I mean, no. But that's Raw so far, and I really am trying to figure out just where everything fits. What I do like about WWE right now, though, is Mark Henry. Mark Henry's status as a monster. We were complaining about that like 2 minutes ago, that he was just standing there like everyone else. Whatever. But he's still a dominant monster, and he is the most interesting that I've ever seen him in recent years. I mean, when he was a comedy character with Pee Wee Herman and stuff like that. That
years of like a decade before.
I mean, was it entertaining? Sure, but it was destroying the credibility of the world's strongest man, and they've successfully gotten him back to monster status, and I'm so happy for that because that is just awesome. Because he deserves to be, at least for his time in the company, at least he deserves something. And this one-shot title reign might just be it, just to solidify his career. I mean, it would be a shame if one of Undertaker's opponents at WrestleMania never had a world title. It's kind of embarrassing. True, yeah. So at least they've got this now. As far as his matches go, I'm tired of seeing him against Randy Orton, but that's just they're just burning off the feud. At least we're seeing it on free TV now and not like a pay-per-view. I mean, that's better than paying again to see Cena versus Orton.
I've gotten bored of Orton though, to be honest.
Have you really?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like all the other fans that are online that were like so pro Orton when he was crazy, and then as soon as he became a face, he's like, oh, Orton sucks.
Well, it just proves that like Orton does some of the same things that Cena does, in that his matches all have a formula.
Yeah,
and not
but, like,
that I'm not
so,
saying that
like,
I'm not saying that Randy Orton just comes back against all odds, although he kind of does.
Yeah.
But he does. His matches function very much like a Cena match does.
He gets beat up, and then he comes back, RKO out of nowhere, pin, he's done. And then he goes crazy, and then someone interferes.
So it kind of goes back to like the anti-Cena sentiment. Like should Cena really be the one to blame for all of his shortcomings? But I guess that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah. But quickly,
but
I appreciate what both of you guys do, especially Orton, because I think Orton's incredible in the ring. Where Cena lacks in the ring, that's where Orton is, and then where Orton lacks on the mic, you got Cena.
I kind of like Orton's mic work. It kind of hails back to Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, it all depends on like what kind of promo you're expecting. I think Cena can be more. I mean, his promos sometimes.
I'm pretty sure
stupid,
I'm pretty sure you can end every single one of Cena's promos with "Today I celebrate my Independence Day," and you'll get the point. That was a bad joke.
I didn't want to say anything, but now that you said it, and everyone knows.
But other than that, we've got Vengeance to look forward to in what, 1 week, 2 weeks?
A week this Sunday.
And that's another problem. Too many pay-per-views in such little time. How much time was there in between Hell in a Cell and Night of Champions? 2 weeks. How much time is there in between Hell in a Cell and Vengeance?
2 or 3 weeks.
What the hell?
But then we have Survivor Series.
Yeah, we do have Survivor Series, but this economy sucks. Do you really want us to pay this much? And you complain when people are streaming your pay-per-views online, yet you want us to shell out what, $50-$60?
It's like 54
a month,
$54
for what, 2-3 hours of entertainment. And even though we're guaranteed to have a 3-hour show and not like a...
It's average, not even pay-per-view quality. Like, I expect to see that on a Raw.
I mean, like their argument is that, well, we guarantee you 3 hours of entertainment. If you buy boxing and UFC, you don't know what's going to happen in the matches. The match might end in, like, 2 minutes, and actually it does. But even if we're guaranteed this much time, that's just us sitting there. We need to actually be entertained.
Yeah.
And if you don't deliver, then you're still not making good on your promise. In fact, if anything... it keeps us from doing what we really want to do. I mean, like, at least a UFC fight, all right, it's over in 2 minutes. At least I can go back to doing schoolwork. At least I can go back to cooking or something like that.
Right.
WWE, I'm forced to stay there until 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then I've got to get up early in the morning because it's a Sunday. I can't do that. WWE really should consider altering the business, and I think they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. They make most of their money from pay-per-views and live events. If they cut it down, they're going to see, obviously, a dip in profits for a while.
Well, maybe not necessarily, because think of that. If they cut a pay-per-view out, that reduces all the costs of actually going there and renting out the place, and then the production and all that stuff, and the wages, and then the people who buy less of one pay-per-view buy more of another, would just buy a lot of that one pay-per-view.
There's a lot of it's all risks and stuff. I know that sounds so professional right now. I'm trying to formulate it in my head. But basically, they're definitely, if they were to cut down their pay-per-views to say 8 or 6.
How many are there right now?
Like,
there's more than 12, I think.
Yeah, like 13, 14.
I'd say maybe 13. And I think one a month, or maybe one.
Let's calculate that right now. Months. 14 times like $60, $50.
It's like 54.
Let's be generous. 55. Okay. So let's say $14 times 55. 14 pay-per-views times 55. That's $770. I'll have to spend a year on WWE.
700 to 770, in case like we're overestimating the pay-per-views. So say like 700.
Okay.
Round down a little bit. So 700.
About.
That's still a lot. $700 a year.
Yeah. Do you have $700 to invest in 1 year?
For a lot of people, that's like most of their rent.
Rent, food, college tuition.
Oh yeah.
So, it's an interesting discussion that's obviously happened before. Many people within the industry have actually of course talked about cutting down the pay-per-views, but I guess in this economy they see squeezing the people for all they're worth as safer than shortening the pay-per-views and advertising the hell out of it in order to have like a bigger payroll for one payper-view. They rather just have it happen. I don't know. Again, I just came off a quiz and my mind's kind of burnt out right now. So I think change should happen in the business in terms of pay-per-views, but it's going to take a lot of convincing for them to actually make doing their part.
All right, and we'll end that on that note. Hopefully I can edit some of the stuff out because we are over time. All right. See you in part 2.